Welcome to another installment of WGS TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX I'm Double Billy Boudreaux. Got a couple guys to introduce you to. First off, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which is now exclusively on Spreaker. It is the Illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr. Rick, how you shining?
I'm doing all right, Billy. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing just fine, guys and gals. Also want to make a note that tonight's commentary will also be featured on HWR on Spreaker.com. Be sure you guys check that out. We'll have a link to it as soon as it goes up. And also, our old friend James is here. James, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. I'm watching Raw review.
Oh, yes, exactly. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw for the week of April 29th, 2013. Now, we opened up with a very highly unusual match. Now, it was Zeb Coulter, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Big E Langston, which in a sense is a manager, a ring announcer, and a big black guy with boobs. Now, the reason we had this matchup, guys and gals, is to determine who gets to pick the stipulation for the Triple Threat World Heavyweight Championship match at Extreme Rules, as it pertains to Ziggler, Swagger, and Del Rio. Now, all parties were present at ringside at that time, and I will say this, I tweeted twitter.com/TheWrestleGamer during the night, and I do stand by what I said on Twitter, that the referee is the luckiest bastard on the planet who got to, all I'm going to say about that. But the finish of the match came, Langston, Ziggler, it was a run-in. First off, it was Del Rio going after Langston, and then it was, I think it was Swagger coming in, and then Ziggler tried to get in some 2 cents, and they all got knocked out of the ring, including Swagger and Langston. They got knocked out of the ring, leaving Zeb Coulter and Ricardo Rodriguez. Now, Zeb Coulter, having seen that Langston had taken out Ricardo, was going to try to get the easy win. When, as the referee's hand was coming down for the 3 count, AJ grabs it, and his arms kind of, cop the feel. And Ricardo Rodriguez schoolboyed Zeb Coulter and got the victory. So now Del Rio gets to name the stipulation for the World Heavyweight Championship match. I've got to go 4 out of 5 on this one. It had a very unusual start to it, but they really did make it work. It really did serve a purpose, and I really did find that the crowd was into it. And another thing that the crowd was into, by the way, was the fact that this was a special Monday Night Raw. It was a World Wish Day, where John Cena came out and made 3 little boys' dreams come true of being honorary WWE superstars. And all I can say to you Cena haters out there is, if you can still find a way to boo Cena after seeing that, then you must not have a heart in your chest. That's all I'm going to say. Let's go over to Rick Starr. Let's kick it off to this one, as we saw 2 members of Legacy go at it in this one, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. I mean, we saw different variations of this before in the past, including, if I do remember correctly, it was indeed a Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes match, in which Cody Rhodes was still using the mask gimmick, and it got broken, which led to Cody Rhodes' new gimmick. Well, not the Love Stash gimmick, but the newer gimmick that he's using.
Yeah. Well, you know what? As you just mentioned, how he has the mustache gimmick. I had said that on my Facebook page that Randy Orton is still having issues with Mark Henry and the Big Show, which I think that's starting to fade out. I'm not sure. While Cody Rhodes is still having issues with his mustache. But this was a great match overall. For a second, it looked like that Cody Rhodes might have actually gotten over on Randy Orton, because he did hit his finisher. But he got the pin, 1-2, but Randy Orton kicked out. And then I'm like, all right, you knew right then when that usually happens, who's going to win out. That's when Randy Orton's going to win. Cody went up to the top rope, and before I knew right when he comes off the top rope, Orton catches him with the RKO. 1, 2, 3. Of course, Cody Rhodes has been on a bit of a losing streak when he goes on a singles match, which I don't know why. I think he really, as an individual, is a great wrestler, great competitor, but for some reason, WWE just doesn't want to push him over since he's lost his IC title.
Now, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah. Anyways, make long story short, he gets all set, wants to go attack Randy Orton. Orton gives him another RKO for his troubles. Great match. I have to give it a 3.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I gotta love the attempt at a twist by WWE for to have Cody Rhodes counter the RKO into the crossroads. That indeed would have been that was a nice change of pace. It was like some fans didn't see. So, but I really got to agree with you on that score. James, up next we had Naomi, who I believe is really an underrated talent in the WWE. And now, I don't say that about many WWE divas in the WWE these days, but she took on Nikki Bella. And one thing I did notice, they did try Twin Magic in this match, but apparently now I think the referee has caught on to the differences between Nikki and Brie Bella. Wouldn't you say?
I guess so. It's like really, it's just. I guess the only way to see it is one has. Yeah. But yeah. Apparently, with the twin magic effectively worked until not Cameron came into the ring and talked to the official about that, and then the official asked both of the Bellas to come over, and then apparently he knew one from another, and then just disqualified Brie and gave the match to Naomi. After the match, the Bellas beat up both of them.
And by the way, guys and gals, if you can't really tell the differences between Nikki and Brie Bella, you really need your eyes checked. That's all I'm gonna say. Next up, we go ahead.
Just look in between the titties.
Oh God, I wasn't trying to be that subtle, Rick. Anyway,
hey, you know what? That's what I'm here for.
Yes, exactly. Next up, we had the Shield came out. They cut a promo about what they did to the Undertaker on Friday Night SmackDown. So saying that the Undertaker for years was the form of justice in the WWE, that everybody bows down to the Undertaker. Well, the Shield didn't bow down to the Undertaker, and then attempted to call out, I believe, John Cena and Ryback right then and there when they get interrupted by 3MB. Now, 3MB, when you compare 3MB to the Shield, 3MB are the jobbers. And I really don't want to say that about Drew McIntyre because I got a lot of respect for him. I think he's another one of those underrated talents at WWE. They did give him a push and decided to pull him back, and I thought he was doing great. He's running with the Chosen One gimmick, and now they stuck him with this shitty 3MB gimmick that is just really, to me, just an insult. And because they could do so much more with Drew McIntyre, but they're just going to stick him with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal, and we kind of knew that they were the ones that were going to take the brunt of the beating from the Shield. During this brunt of the beating, Team Hell No comes out, and the Shield takes off, and Team Hell No ends up beating up 3MB. I guess that proves, I said on Twitter that everybody hates 3MB, even though they're only 97 megabytes away from a gig. Courtesy of Jerry the King Lawler. 3.5 out of 5 on the promo. I thought it was very good. But we're going to go up to next to what I really considered to be one of the best matches of the night, Rick, and that was the World Heavyweight Champion Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. Take into the fact the amount of times that these two have worked together before, they've feuded together before. It was safe to say at this point in time that both Ziggler and Kingston had the crowd eating out of the palm of their hand.
Oh, absolutely. This match went on for about a good 10 minutes. The crowd was into it. We were into it. It was just, these guys, you didn't know which way this match was going to go. It wasn't. It was champion for champion, which I wish to God I would love to see a title versus title match. It's not going to happen on Raw, but somewhere down the line, I really would like to see that happen, just for the sake of seeing that kind of a match. But it really was a great match, awesome. And you know what? I'm sorry, Dolph Ziggler, one of the best drop kickers, in Raw or on the roster to this day. It just came down where they, his, at the point, sorry. It came down to where, it came down to where AJ Lee and Biggie Langston tried to get involved, and that didn't happen. It gave him just enough of a window where Ziggler got the win with the zigzag. Still excellent. I had to give a 4 out of 5 star match.
Also, got to make mention of the fact that Biggie Langston once again assaulted Kofi Kingston, gave him not one but two of the big endings. I think it was safe to say backstage, Kaitlyn and AJ Lee were back there, and I bet we're going to see sometime soon of the matchup between these two for the Divas Championship. And if WWE really wants to play to the power couple angle, then they really need to put the Divas Championship on AJ Lee, not only because of that, but I think AJ Lee actually deserves it. I'm not saying anything bad about Kaitlyn, but I think AJ Lee has a smidge more talent inside the ring than Kaitlyn. But we're also seeing possibly the start of a new angle. Apparently, Kaitlyn receives a package, and it's one of those spiked hats. Apparently, she's into the whole metal spike things. And apparently now she's got a secret admirer following her around. So who's gonna? Anyway, let's go up to the next match, James. We had Jack Swagger taking on a very different looking Zack Ryder. Even though he still tried to pull off some of his usual shtick, it's safe to say that if Ashley was here right now, we would be sounding the jobber alert.
Jobber alert! Jobber alert! Obviously, it's just like when Zack Ryder came out, he kind of reminded Zeb Coulter on how he lost the first match for that stipulation, and just basically it's more just Jack Swagger beating up on Zack Ryder and him winning with the Patriot Lock, and basically Zeb attacked Ryder with a punch right after the match. Like the Divas match, I forgot to give a rating for the Divas match, but like that match, I'm giving this a 2 out of 5 because it's just really not for me to care of.
Can somebody please explain to me why in the world we had a tug of war competition on a Monday Night Raw?
Very simple, because Raw is going for 3 hours and they're just trying to burn up time.
Hey, Billy, it's the same reason why we had a hugging contest between Daniel Bryan and Kane that one Raw a couple of months back.
When during their anger management graduation?
That was the time they were in anger management. Yeah.
They're having a hugging contest?
Hey, remember when
let's talk about it after the review.
Okay.
Well, let's go off to apparently Mark Henry wants to he set out to prove something. Then he wanted some challengers for a tug of war contest. He wanted to prove he was the strongest man. So his first challenger was Tensai, aka Sweet Tea. Apparently he's now relevant because he's teaming with Brodus Clay, but he's still basically mid card at best. And of course Tensai goes down in the tug of war contest, and so does Brodus Clay. And then Sheamus comes out. Apparently now he is actively involved in a storyline with Mark Henry. Says, how about me, fella? And during the tug of war, Sheamus lets go of the ropes. And when Mark Henry rebounds back, he gets a bro kick for his favor. So very interesting to see where they take Sheamus and Mark Henry. If they're looking to take this to Extreme Rules, I wonder what kind of a stipulation they would put towards a match like this. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was somewhat entertaining, but for the fact of the matter is, I really didn't see a point to having a tug of war contest on a Monday Night Raw. But Rick, another one of your favorite matches was coming up. Alberto Del Rio taking on Antonio Cesaro. When we first looked at it, especially when I looked at it on the WWE app, they had him coming down in a beret, wearing glasses, and doing that stupid yodeling thing. And my instant reaction was this was going to be like a 3 to 4 minute match where Cesaro was just going to get absolutely bombed by Del Rio. But that didn't happen, did it?
No, it didn't. This was actually another great match. Unfortunately, we have to say, we've all agreed that Antonio Cesaro was one of the shocking, developing characters that we all come to like and come to respect. When he first came on, none of us liked him, and then we've come to like him, and especially when he won the U.S. title. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, this sale just went right out. The wind went out of his sails, and this match, it looked like he was coming right back, but, we knew pretty much who was going to win this match. It was no, mistake. And, of course, what happens? Alberto Del Rio wins with a cross arm breaker. Why, we don't know. But of course, after
Hmm. Well, yes, we had the announcement of the stipulation for the matchup, the triple threat match between Del Rio, Swagger, and Ziggler. And to me, James, it kind of made sense for Del Rio to make it a ladder match, considering the connection between Del Rio, Swagger, and Ziggler is Money in the Bank.
Exactly. I mean, all three of them has won Money in the Bank. All three of them cashed in and won uh the a world title. Del Rio won the WWE title after cashing Money in the Bank, but that's kind of a little different. But anyway, all
Yeah,
three of them had won the title cashing in Money in the Bank, and that's where most of their hype was, is that ladder match, that Money in the Bank ladder match.
yeah, we're going to discuss this more on a future video as we preview the ladder match between Del Rio, Swagger, and Ziggler. Next up, okay, James, we've had a tug of war. Now we're having a dance off.
This one, you got me on this one too. But anyway, this was Fandango versus the Great Khali in a dance off. Okay.
Again,
Um,
why?
you
uh,
you got me. So
it's
basically Khali does his dance with Natalia, and then Fandango did his dance with Summer Rae. But then the crowd cheered more for Khali. Well, it was very close, but it was more on Khali's side. And then Khali won, but after the contest, Fandango attacked his legs from behind and then did his signature, his two finishers on him.
actually the only two moves he does for wrestling. The rest he just does punching kicks.
Summer Rae is hot.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that.
Even in the winter.
Yeah, inside joke on that one. Let's set up the main event match. Now we were originally billed to have John Cena and Ryback taking on the Shield in a 2-on-3 handicap match. Then we get a promo, backstage with Ryback and Vicky Guerrero. Ryback complaining of the fact that he's tired of John Cena leaving him alone against the Shield, and tonight he wasn't going to let him do it again, so he was walking out of the match. Vicky tried to make the match, Ryback and Team Hell No versus the Shield, and Ryback said no. Ryback rules. No. And then next up, we see a promo, a segment from the WWE app of Ryback leaving. So it looks like, and then Team Hell No, apparently Kane enraged after what the Shield did to The Undertaker on Friday Night SmackDown, demanded the match. Daniel Bryan also wanted to be in the match, and at first it looked like we were gonna have a 2-on-3 handicap match, and for some reason John Cena just getting the boot right out the window out of this match. All things considered, the injury that was reported over the past weekend on WWE.com. Now, Brad Maddox has the unenviable task of going to John Cena and saying that, you're injured. We're not letting you be in this match. Cena said, if you don't let me in this basically said, if you don't let me in this match, I'm going to kick your ass. And that's when Brad Maddox did the wise thing and decided to back up. Also, props to John Cena for Braden Strong. I think it was Braden Strong. He said, or Braden Walker. Braden Walker is what
Yeah,
he
Bray
said.
Walker. Yeah.
Braden Walker is what he said. Props for him for that, Braden Walker. And of course, you got to also mention the wonderful DVD, the 3-disc set, the best 15 minutes of Braden Walker right here on YouTube. Yeah. So next up, so now we have John Cena and Team Hell No taking on the Shield. Rick, your thoughts going into going into this match when you heard it was Cena and Team Hell No taking on the Shield?
Well, I think they wanted to pretty much just test the waters to see how Cena's injury was. And and I think we all kind of got a bird's eye view as to how that was, which we're going to talk about in another show. And that's just what it was. So, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And I think they just, I have my opinions on what's going on with that. whether his injury is legit or has some legitimacy behind it, it's really in question, but you never know.
Now, James, at one point in this matchup, we saw a spot where Roman Reigns goes over the top rope and then comes down clutching his wrist, apparently looking like he injured his wrist. Now, he ended up working through it. Now, it did take him a little bit of time. I want to say maybe about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes for him to work through that. But it's safe to say that something had happened at that point in time to Roman Reigns, and he was able to work through it. But you know what? There's one thing it was one thing that you said, Rick, during our Skype chat that I want to bring up to mind, that the finish of the match. Cena had up the. It was I think it was Seth Rollins getting ready to give him the attitude adjustment,
Yeah.
and then his ankle starts to give way, and then Roman Reigns hits the spear and gets the win for the Shield. We did not see the power bomb, Rick. Could that still mean that there's something wrong with the wrist or the arm of Roman Reigns?
It's possible. Or other than that, it could also mean, again, we talked about this during the show, which we wanted to talk about on another conversation topic. Is that is John Cena really injured? And we don't know. We don't know if he's really injured, or and if they're just
testing the waters.
Waters.
Yes.
We don't know that. We don't know. Like John Cena actually said, and he said to Ryback, well, John Cena said this. He goes, I'm hurt. I'm not injured. And that might be very, very well true. We don't know this. We don't, so I don't want to sit there and say, oh, he's not hurt, because he could very well be hurt. He could be very well be able to walk and run, be able to do stuff. And when he tries stuff, he says, ah, shit, that hurts. And so you don't know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're gonna really know. And I don't want to, be the guy that says he's. So go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to go more in depth on this subject on a future commentary right here on WGS TV in conjunction with HWR as well. Now, as far as this match goes, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I thought it was very decent. I thought it was very well done. And of course, at the end of the match, Ryback, who was supposed to have been left, was actually still there, and he was just enjoying the view of seeing Cena in pain. Overall score on this week's Monday Night Raw, I got to go 3.5 out of 5. It was still a decent halfway show. I don't think it was a 4-star show. Let me go the rundown. Ricardo Rodriguez defeating Zeb Coulter and Biggie Langston. I thought it was okay. The World Wish Day, again, fans can really find it in their hearts to boo Cena. Then they must not have any. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, I thought it was great. I love the fact that they tried to swerve it up a little bit by having Cody Rhodes counter RKO out of nowhere into the Crossroads. Naomi and Nikki Bella, 2 things to note in here. Naomi is really an underrated talent. Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. Talent in the WWE, and I don't say that very often about WWE divas in the company nowadays. And if you don't notice the differences between Nikki and Brie Bella, where have you been and where's your mind? The promo with the Shield and 3MB, it kind of served a purpose to maybe close out the thing between the Shield and 3MB, and then Team Hell No came out, and I guess that was a big teaser for what they were going to try to switch up for the main event. Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston, to quote Ziggler, stole the show. Jack Swagger defeating Zack Ryder was kind of obvious. Swagger doesn't spike the hair anymore, so I think maybe Long Island IZ, the gimmick, might be dying. Mark Henry and I don't know even why I want to mention this. The tug of war on a wrestling show, but defeated Tensai and Brodus Clay, and then of course they brought Sheamus out, and of course they had to put over Sheamus being the toughest one for Mark Henry to handle, and then of course we saw what happened with Sheamus giving him the bro kick. Del Rio and Antonio Cesaro was a lot better than I thought it was going to be at first. Especially with Cesaro making his kooky entrance doing the yodeling on the WWE app. The dance-off between Great Khali and Fandango, I think the only really high point for me was seeing Summer Rae. And of course the main event with the Shield defeating John Cena and Team Hell No, I thought it was very interesting. And of course, like I said, on a future video, we're going to be talking a little bit about John Cena's injury and maybe questioning the legitimacy of this injury. So overall score for me, I got to go 3.5 out of 5. Let's go over to Rick Starr. Rick, your overall score and thoughts.
Well, I have to say it's a lot better than last week's Raw, which absolutely for me sucked. I will definitely give it a solid 3. Can't give it anything more than that. I'd have to say, with the exception of the main event, which was a great show, a great match. I have to say the
The Ziggler Kofi
The
Kingston
Ziggler
match?
the Ziggler Kofi Kingston match was probably the Ziggler Kofi Kingston match, best match of the night, hands down. I like the Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes match. Definitely, it was a great match. A lot of other great promos. I liked the fact that the Alberto Del Rio decided to make it a ladder match. I like where that's going to go. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I absolutely three-star match, 3-star show.
Let's go over to James. James, your overall score and thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
I think I'm agree with Rick over there. It's like I give it a 3. Different reasons because why we had a dance off and why we had tug of war. I don't know. I really enjoyed the Ziggler Kofi match. Second would be I give Alberto Del Rio and Antonio Cesaro credit for that match. Orton Cody Rhodes is also up there in the main event. Those are my top 4 matches of the night. There's some stuff where it's questioning other stuff, but basically it was decent, but I can't say it was the best.
So what we want to know now from you guys out there,
Excuse me, may I make a comment?
Go ahead.
I have to interject, Billy. One thing that they were supposed to advertise on Raw and they did not do was a Triple H Brock Lesnar. Did they not supposed to have some interaction tonight?
They did. They just did a video promo for it.
I thought they were supposed to have some interaction. I apologize, Billy. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar and Triple H was not advertised to be there. They just only did the video.
It was just a package.
Just a build-up. Package.
My mistake. Sorry, Billy.
All right, that's cool. What we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out for Hardcore Wrestling Radio?
Well, as always, we have the Hardcore Wrestling Radio Facebook page. That's over at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And, of course, we have our new Spreaker page, which is www.spreaker.com/HWR Media.
We also like fans to check out gamingforthenation.com, where WGS is also being featured right there on that website as well. And also, don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So, with that being said, for the Illuminous one, the Shining Star, Rick Starr, and our old friend James, I'm Double B, Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.